Hi, welcome back. I'm in Ukraine. It's April 26, 1986, and I have to warn you, this one is going to be heavy. That building behind me, reactor number 4. Right now it's 1:23 in the morning, and in exactly 1 second, everything changes. The explosion that's about to happen in that building will release 400 times more radiation than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. And the Soviet government will spend the next 3 days telling the world nothing happened. This is the story of Chernobyl, and it is not what you think.
This is Pripyat, a city of 50,000 people, built specifically to house the workers of the Chernobyl plant.
Average age of residents, 26 years old. Young families, children, the newest, most modern city in Soviet Ukraine. Right now in these apartments, people are sleeping, having dinner, watching television.
Excuse me, do you work at the plant?
Yes, night shift finishes at 6. Why are you asking?
His name was Viktor. He had a wife and a 4-year-old daughter in that building. He was going back inside in 10 minutes, said his daughter kept waking up at night, said she needed him there when she did. In 8 hours, Viktor and every single person in this city will be told to leave. Take nothing. You will be back in 3 days. In 8 hours, Viktor and every single person, they never came back. Take nothing. You will be back in 3 days.
Let me tell you what actually happened inside this building tonight, because the real story is more frightening than any film. Tonight, the engineers at Reactor 4 were running a safety test. A routine check, nothing unusual. But the test had been delayed all day, so the less experienced night shift crew had to carry it out. They disabled the emergency core cooling system. They disabled the emergency shutdown system, both of them, at the same time. And then the reactor's power dropped to a dangerously unstable level. And instead of stopping, they kept going. At 1:23 a.m., they pressed a button to insert the control rods, to slow the reaction down. Those control rods had graphite tips, and the graphite made the reaction accelerate, not slow down. In 4 seconds, the reactor power surged to 30,000% above normal. And then Reactor 4 exploded. The explosion blew the roof off the reactor building, 400 feet into the air. Residents came outside and watched it from their apartment balconies. Some thought it was beautiful. They were standing in open-air radiation that was 1,000 times the lethal dose, and they had no idea. The first responders were firefighters. They arrived within minutes. Nobody told them what they were walking in. They picked up pieces of graphite from the reactor with their bare hands, said it felt warm walking a sun. 28 of those firefighters were dead within 3 months from acute radiation sickness. This fairground was supposed to open on May 1st, 5 days after the explosion. The Ferris wheel, the bumper cars, the carousel, all built, all painted, all ready. Nobody ever rode them. This city was built for young families, for children. And it just stopped on one morning in April. Now let me tell you what the Soviet government did next, because this is where it gets unbelievable. For the first 36 hours after the explosion, the Soviet government told the world nothing had happened. For the first 36 hours, the Soviet government told the world nothing had happened.
The world found out because Sweden detected elevated radiation levels. A Swedish nuclear plant worker set off alarms just walking into work. The radiation had crossed international borders before the Soviet Union admitted anything had happened. 36 hours after the explosion, they finally told the people of Pripyat to leave. They were told, "Take only what you need for 3 days. You will be back on Thursday." Excuse me, are you okay? Do you know what's happening? An accident at the plant. I'm waiting for my husband's bus. I looked for her husband's name later. I'm not going to tell you what I found. In the days after the explosion, the Soviet Union sent in the liquidators. 600,000 people. Soldiers, miners, firefighters, engineers sent to contain the disaster. They were sent onto the roof of the reactor to shovel radioactive debris by hand. 2 minutes per shift. That was the limit. They called these men biorobots, because the actual robots kept breaking down from the radiation. 3 divers went into the flooded basement of the reactor. Robots kept complete down from the radiation, radioactive water, to manually open valves and drain the water. If they had failed, a second explosion, steam, radioactive cloud, half of Europe contaminated. They did it. All 3 survived. And we have never once talked about them the way we should. Today, the exclusion zone covers an area the size of Luxembourg, still contaminated, still off limits. Nature is taking Pripyat back. Trees growing through apartment floors, wolves living in the buildings. In a terrible way, removing humans was the best thing that ever happened to the wildlife here. The official death toll from Chernobyl is 31. 31 people. The UN estimates 4,000 people will ultimately die from radiation exposure. Other researchers say it could be closer to 60,000. Chernobyl accelerated the collapse of the Soviet Union. Mikhail Gorbachev himself said so later. Because when people saw the government could not protect them and then lied about it, something broke, something that never came back. Chernobyl was not just a nuclear disaster. It was a failure of honesty, a failure of transparency, a failure of the people in charge to tell the truth. I keep thinking about Viktor on the bench, and the woman waiting for her husband's bus, and the Ferris wheel that nobody ever rode. These weren't statistics. They were people who had plans, who had children who needed them at night, and they were let down. Not by the reactor, by the people who knew the truth and chose to hide it. These people deserve to be remembered, not as a disaster, as people, as people. Thanks for watching.